Hey everybody, hope all is well. I just wanted to walk you through a video of what I am expecting you to do for today's lesson. Today is February 22nd. I hope you had a great break. And let's get started. So, um, in the first slide that I want you to look at, basically, we're going through the scale factor. So you should have already read this if you're at this video by now. But make sure that you know that the scale factor is the length of a segment in the image divided by the length of a corresponding segment in the pre-image. Just make sure you are aware of that fact. Now, something that we didn't really get to in the previous lesson was a center of dilation. We've been dealing with the center of dilation being 0, 0, but now we're going to kind of see some examples where it's not going to be 0, 0. So the way to do this is by, I don't know if you notice in the picture right here, you see how A and A prime, there's a line drawn through them. And same thing for C and C prime and B and B prime. And then they all intersect at point O. That's pretty much what you're going to do whenever you're trying to find the center of dilation. You're just going to draw a line through the corresponding points. And then wherever those lines intersect, like they meet, that's the center of dilation. All right. So let's get into an example. This one says to find the center of dilation by following the steps. And I'm going to delete actually this part, the task part, uh, by following the steps below. So it says draw and we just spoke about this, right? But draw and extend separate line segments connecting each of the corresponding points. So what that means is we're going to connect these 2 points. We're just going to draw a line straight through them. And obviously, you may not draw a line that's perfect, but you want to try to be as careful as possible when you're drawing these lines. And you could more than likely, see the point of intersection, even if it's a little bit off. So same thing with B and B prime. Now notice to go from B prime to B, we have to go over 2, up 1. So we're going to follow that path. Over 2, up 1. Over 2, up 1. And notice how if we draw a line through those points, and again, I'm not the best at this, but you can see that so far they're going to intersect right here. So let's just make sure that's the case for the other line. So let's connect A and A prime. Notice how it's simple. Over 1, up 1. Over 1, up 1. Over 1, up 1. So like if you draw a line, it has to pass through those points. Um, all right. So this means that our center of dilation is going to be at the point. I'm just going to put it in a different color. In this case, it's 6. I know we can't really see the numbers over here, but it's going by a scale of 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the center of dilation, I'm going to write it here, center. And sometimes I may abbreviate it by saying COD, but I'm just going to spell it out for y'all just to make sure we're all on the same page. Center of dilation is the point 6, comma 4. This is our center of dilation, guys. All right. So that's going to be helpful when determining the scale factor, which we'll talk about in a moment. Especially when the center of dilation is not 0, 0, you need to know what the center of dilation. Oh, you should know what the center of dilation is for any dilation, but especially when it's not 0, 0, this is going to really be helpful towards finding the scale factor. So with that said, let's move on to the next slide, um, which is um, the next slide is going to be when I correct this is going to be the next slide, but the next slide I'm asking you to basically find the scale factor. So we're going to use two different methods to do this. So find the length of a line segment in the image and find the length of a corresponding line segment in the pre-image, and to divide the image length over the pre-image length. So let's do that. Let's do method one first. So I'm going to do method one on the left side. So with that said, let's find the length of AB, right? The length of AB, we can literally just count since it's a horizontal line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. And A prime to B prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Remember, our image is always the one with the primes, so we have to divide 9 divided by 6, which if we were to reduce this, 9 is divisible by 3 and 6 is also divisible by 3, so our scale factor is essentially 3 over 2. This is our scale factor. All right. We could do the same thing for the other corresponding line segments, but if a dilation has occurred, the scale factor must be the same. So you could have picked A prime and C prime, found the length of that line using the distance formula or even the Pythagorean theorem. You could have done A to C and then divided those two things accordingly. All right. So that's one approach. The other approach is to incorporate the center of dilation. Now, if you recall, the center of dilation is right here. Let's find the length from, I'm just changing my colors, from C to this point, right? From C to this point, it's 1, 2, 3, right? So let's call this point O. From C to O is 3 units. 1, 2, 3. And then from C prime to O, it's one, sorry. So notice how this is approximately 8.5. It's not 9. You want to be careful with that. So we're going to count from the center of dilation 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4.5. All right. So now we're going to divide 4.5 by 3. And if you do that in the calculator, you wanna, I'm picking up my phone right now, right? 4.5 divided by 3 is 1.5, which is the same thing as 3 over 2. 3 over 2 is also 1.5. So this is another way you could find the scale factor. It's really up to you which way you want to, which approach you want to use, but both methods are sufficient, and both methods would earn you the appropriate credit. All right. So on the summative that you guys will be like indulging in soon, you're going to be expected to find the scale factor or to apply the scale factor. So just be mindful about that. And that's pretty much it, y'all. So the next few questions in this are just pretty much prompting you to apply this idea of finding the center of dilation and finding the scale factor. All right. So as always, if you guys have any questions, come to office hours. We would love to see your face or interact with you. But until we meet again, please try to do your best with completing this assignment. All right. Take care, guys.